one other thing. 1-5, the worksheet is written backwards. 1-5, the worksheet is written backwards. So I'm going to do the right-hand side first and the left-hand side second. Okay? The left-hand side is the rule using variables. The right-hand side is why. We're not going to actually spend a lot of time on mathematical proof. It's everything is induction. Does it matter is the question I'm going to ask you. Okay? So we're going to start off with the limit as x approaches 2 of 2x plus 3. Now, by now, some of you are probably noticing my limits don't say LIM. Most places will accept that. AP Central might get a little pickier than that, so just kind of keep an eye. You should probably make an I in there and an M. I'm not going to, but you should. Yeah? Oh, man. I think I see her turn down the time. Okay, so how do I solve this? Yes, sir. Third row back. Yes. Great yellow. Disneyland. I plug in 2, right? So it should be 2 plus 3, and we agree this is going to be what? Oh, sorry. 2, 6, 7, 6, yeah. Okay. So over here I have a rule. It says the limit as x approaches c of b f of c of x. Sorry, it should be of x. Can having a 2 outside do anything other than multiply the whole thing by 2 when you got done? No. So this is equivalent to b times the limit as x approaches c of f of x. This being the part you took the limit of. Okay. Now we're testing to see if anybody here might have a secret. Limit as x approaches 2. X plus 2 plus negative 2x. Heat stop. How do I solve this B? We plug the 2 into each separate one individually simultaneously? Yeah. And so you would get what? 0? 0. So the limit as x approaches c of 2 things added up is just the limit of the first plus the limit of the second, right? That's what you did. You did the limit of the first one, limit of the second one. Why would it matter? Right? There's 2 expressions in there. You plugged a 2 into the first expression, you plugged a 2 into the second expression, you limited both of these individually, and you got 4, and you got negative 4, and then you added them up. No? Makes sense. Okay. Well, oddly enough, this worksheet's the easiest worksheet because it makes sense, but the hardest because it's with this gibberish. Like we're talking gibberish, aren't we? Seems like a strange thing to do. So you probably could answer the question before I asked it. All right, next one is the limit. As x approaches 2 of x plus 2 times negative 2x. Mr. Perel, how would you approach this problem? Plug in 2. The first part.
And the second part.
So you take the limit of the first part, you get 4. Take the limit of the second part, you get negative 4. And then what you do the 2 things when you're done? Multiply them up. So, the limit as x approaches c of f of x g of x g of x is just the limit as x approaches c of the first thing times the limit as x approaches c of the second thing. Right? Now again, I don't think this is going to fool anybody. I don't think anybody's like, wait, I've never seen this before. The problem is sometimes AP Central likes to write things this way rather than this way, which is less fun. Okay, swinging around the room. Who should I pick on over here? Thomas. Yes. Yes. limit as x approaches c of f of x, g of x. What do you think we're going to do this time?
Just divide it.
Just divide it. So I'm going to go ahead and take the limit of each. And I'm not even going to bother with the right hand side. You can do it if you like. You just take the limit of the top and bottom separately, and then we get done and divide them out. So far, basically what we discovered is you just plug the number in like you've always been doing. Now, if something was weird about the bottom or top, you might have to work a little harder, right? If you have 20 zeros on the bottom, you might have to actually take the limit the way we just learned. For the most part, this is just obvious, I think. Does that make sense to you, sir? All right. What's your name again? Last name? Vaughn. Okay, let's do the last one. I've got f of x to the n. This one looks a little tricky, so I'm going to go ahead and do it the hard way, or the easy way first. X plus 3 to the second power. What would you do, sir? You plug it in. You resolve the inside, right? You take the limit of the inside, which would be 5 by plugging in a 2. And then you square the whole thing, we got down to 25, right? So this is the equivalent to the limit as x approaches c of f of x. That whole thing to the n power. In other words, you take the limit first. Vaughn, are you good? You good? All right, we're all right. Okay, so flip this over. And I'm going to ask you to do something you've never seen before, and it's totally unfair to ask you to do it. Do it anyway. Try 37A through D. I will do them in just a moment. I want you to try it for me. That one. So you end up with just 2 plus 3, which is simply 5. All right. Right. What'd you get? 6. You said you take the limit of this first one first, right? And then when you did that, you'd get a 2. Take the limit of the second one, you'd get a 3, and then 2 times 3 is? Usually that's 3. That's you, read.
Okay, I did this after that separately about x, which is 2/3.
So you notice that you take the limit at the top and the limit at the bottom separately, right? So you end up with a 2 on the top and a 3 on the bottom. There you go. Only seeing half your face, Spaniel. Am I okay? Okay. It's really hard to do with you just said gibberish. Okay? You have to tell me slow down and do some things. Okay. Here we go. 1 through 38 for certain right now. Go, go, go. Right, speed doesn't require this. I like my physics 1 people to tell you that speed doesn't require this. There's a chapter where he said
It's 64.
Is it okay?
what kind of cheap are you talking about? I read. Okay. You need to be aware in general you want to avoid that. In this case, the problem is so easy, they probably be quite squared anyways, but you don't want to be. Yeah, when you're taking the physics test, pretty much anything goes and he's happy. But these calculus tests is like, I'm sorry, that's wrong. You don't get the right answer, even though it's obvious to anybody on the Western world map, you did it the right way. I'm sorry, it's wrong. Use wrong terminology. I'm going to line up here. They're that picky on this stuff. And I used to think that was an exaggeration. Then I met with a set of scorers. They're serious. They are crazy serious. All right. They believe math supports. That's all they do. Okay, at 4f of x, I'm coming back the other way. So I should be asking questions of Miss Sauce.
Yes.
Give me that first one.
A is 6.
A is 6, because you did 4 times 3 halves. Piece of cake, and you got 6. Great. Okay. And the next one is f of x plus g of x. And you would have done what? Daniel.
3 halves plus 1 half.
You want to come with that? There we go. Oh man, I can't get fishing. I'm learning something. Good. Work up?
Yeah.
He's gonna for sure turn his homework.
Yeah. I have actually all those lines. I just haven't turned them.
Work up.
Never mind.
Can we do this all?
I think. It was,
F of x times g of x.
and then it was 1.5. It was times g of x.
Times g of x.
3/4.
Perfect. Yes, sir. And then, I'll give you that. Hey, Scott. F of x over g of x. Three halves over 1/2. Multiply. All right. Wow. Exactly that. I can't do the next example. So you guys have the world's easiest homework for a 3-day weekend. Make sure you turn in 1-4. Finish 1-5. You should be able to do that like now. So if you put stuff away, you're a silly person unless you've already done it.
I honestly read like 5 minutes ahead. I thought it was like already.
I want to jerky beats and I want you to work right through the bell like you're sweating, your foot flying off your pencil the moment the bell rings. I hate days like this where we already put your stuff away and we got another 4 minutes or something.
No, I get it.
I kind of feel like I need to get another assignment. I can't start the next assignment. What should I do? All right. I guess not. Have a nice 3-day weekend. Get your homework done now, so you have next time. Wait, I don't know. I'll really like to I will try to get some rotations going. Which is kind of just like honestly. Yes. I absolutely will take and then do it. And then walk to the next class. And lunch will be the whole day. Exactly. So what our company are there two elections from the understanding? So there's too many ones for me. I'll set up a meeting with you and then we'll see what's going on. Yes,